The rumble of motorcycles echoed down the street. Leather jackets, roaring engines, loud laughter. Three bikers, looking for trouble, thinking they own the block. Then they spotted her. Ronda Rousey, walking down the sidewalk, earbuds in, confident as ever. They exchanged smirks. "Watch this," one whispered. What they didn't know was how fast regret could hit. The setup. It was a sunny afternoon in downtown Los Angeles. The streets were crowded, coffee shops, pedestrians, traffic lights buzzing. Ronda was heading to a meeting for her charity foundation. Simple, routine, no expectations. Three bikers noticed her from across the street. Big, bulky, thinking their size and attitude would intimidate anyone. They nudged each other. "But she's afraid," one said. Ronda didn't notice. She kept walking, purposeful and calm. Her experience in the octagon made her senses sharp. Every footstep, every sound, every subtle shift in the environment registered her mind. The bikers moved closer, engines idling menacingly. "Hey, hey," one shouted. "Where you going, champ?" Ronda stopped, looked at them, smiled slightly. But it wasn't a nervous smile. It was measured, confident. Escalation. The bikers revved their engines. The crowd on the street noticed the tension rising. Phones out. Bystanders whispering. "Think you're tough?" the leader asked, stepping closer. Ronda tilted her head. Calm, collected. "I don't need to prove anything to you." The leader laughed nervously. "Oh, you will prove something." A young woman on the sidewalk gasped. "Don't." Too late. The bikers took one step too close. One of them tried to shove past her. Ronda didn't panic. She didn't shout. She moved with precision, sidestepping, using their momentum against them, and creating space between herself and the bikers. The crowd froze. Every phone recorded the next seconds. The intervention. The lead biker lunged, thinking he could intimidate her physically. 1 second. One wrong move. Ronda's reflexes were immediate. She grabbed his wrist mid-swing, twisted, and used his own momentum to spin him off balance. He stumbled, nearly hitting his own bike. His friends froze, eyes wide. "You should step back," Ronda said calmly. Her voice carried authority, ice and steel in perfect balance. The leader scrambled to his feet, face flushed. "This ain't over." Ronda's eyes narrowed. "It is over." The crowd reacts. Bystanders murmured, some cheering quietly, some gasping. Phones recorded every second. One biker muttered, "She's just a girl." Another tried to step forward and instantly realized his mistake. Ronda moved with lightning speed, disarming the confrontation before it escalated. The leader's jaw dropped. "What? How?" Ronda didn't attack to hurt. She neutralized, controlled, and dominated the space. Her presence alone forced instant respect and fear. The bikers looked at each other. Something in their eyes shifted. They regretted it instantly. The tension builds. The lead biker stumbled back, trying to regain his composure, but every move felt wrong. His friends hesitated, unsure whether to intervene or flee. The engines of their motorcycles idled like beasts waiting for permission. But now, for the first time, the roar felt hollow, almost comical. Ronda's gaze didn't waver. Calm, controlled. Her muscles tensed subtly, ready to react, but she didn't strike. Every micro-movement sent signals. "Don't push me. You won't like it." The crowd around them was frozen. Pedestrians leaned out of shop windows. A mother held her child closer. A teenager raised his phone, whispering, "This is insane." She's about to snap. The biker leader wiped sweat from his brow. "She's just bluffing," he muttered to himself, tried to regain some bravado. "She's a woman, she can't." Then Ronda took a step forward. It wasn't aggressive. It wasn't threatening. It was deliberate, measured, controlled. And just like that, the street felt smaller. The crowd notices something. Whispers rippled through the onlookers. "Did you see that step? She's not moving like anyone else. She's calm, too calm." The bikers noticed it too, finally realizing the energy in Ronda wasn't just confidence. It was trained precision. The second biker tried to regain his nerve, stepping forward and cracking his knuckles. "Maybe we should." Before he could finish, Ronda's hand shot out in a blur. She caught his wrist mid-swing, twisted it behind him, and gently but firmly guided him off balance. His friends gasped. He stumbled, nearly falling on his own bike. For a brief second, his bravado evaporated. The lead biker's face paled. She's fast, he muttered. Faster than you can imagine, his friend whispered under his breath. The inner monologues. Ronda, keep it controlled. No unnecessary force. Neutralize without harm. They need to learn a lesson without escalation. Eyes on the leader. He's the one calling the shots. Watch his hands. Watch the bike. Watch the crowd. Lead biker. Well, what just happened? How did she do that so easily? She's not afraid. She's calm. Too calm. I thought we could intimidate her. We underestimated her. Big mistake. Bystanders. Is that really Ronda Rousey? She's like a force. I've never seen anyone move like that. The bikers are screwed. They don't even know it yet. Edge of confrontation. The sun bounced off the chrome of the motorcycles, reflecting into the eyes of every bystander. Engines rumbled low, but the sound now felt hollow, almost nervous, like the machines themselves sensed the shift in energy. Ronda's eyes scanned the three bikers. Nothing escaped her notice. Their posture, weight distribution, hand positions, subtle movements of fingers near levers and jackets. She was calm, but every muscle in her body was primed for action. The leader, sensing his confidence slipping, tried to regain control. You think you can just walk down the street without us noticing? He barked, his voice louder than before. Ronda tilted her head, a faint smile playing at her lips. I've walked these streets plenty of times, she said evenly. You're just noticing now. The crowd murmured, phones rising slowly. People instinctively created a small perimeter around her. A teenage boy whispered to his friend, "Is that really Ronda Rousey? This is insane." Bikers' growing anxiety. The second biker shifted his weight nervously. He was the youngest of the group, always eager to impress the leader. "Maybe we shouldn't," he started, but the leader cut him off with a sharp glare. "You worry too much," the leader snapped. "We show her who's boss." Easy. But even as he said it, doubt crept in. He'd seen plenty of fights, plenty of tough people, but the way Ronda carried herself, unflinching, measured, calm, made him pause. Why isn't she intimidated? He thought. Everyone else would have flinched by now. The silent stare down. Tom seemed to stretch. The street felt tighter, the sun brighter. Every sound, the click of a pedestrian's heel, the distant honk of a car, the low rumble of the motorcycles, suddenly carried weight. The bikers, thinking confidence alone could dominate, leaned forward slightly. One cracked a nervous smile at his companions, as if to say, "We've got this." But the twitch in his shoulder betrayed uncertainty. Ronda, unhurried, kept walking. Her gaze flicked briefly to the leader, then the other two, and back to the sidewalk ahead. Every movement, however small, was deliberate. She didn't need to announce her presence. Her poise did it for her. A small crowd began to gather, not out of curiosity, but instinct. People sensed the tension building, and even from their distance, it was palpable. Something was about to happen. The unspoken battle. For the bikers, words no longer mattered. Their bravado had peaked, and now it was silent posturing. Each shift in weight, each step became a challenge. Who would give way first? Who would flinch? The youngest biker's hand hovered near the throttle of his bike, tension radiating off him in visible lines. He didn't want to make the first move, yet he didn't want to look weak. The leader tried to appear relaxed, but his jaw was tight, and sweat glimmered along his temples. He whispered something to the middle biker, a strategy to box her in, but Ronda had already noticed it. Without a word, she began subtly adjusting her angle, creating invisible space between herself and them. Crowd reactions intensify. Whispers spread among bystanders. She hasn't even flinched. Look at her, she's assessing them. Do you think they realize she's dangerous? Phones rose steadily, capturing footage. Even those who didn't recognize her name sensed her aura, the kind of calm authority that commands attention and respect. Pedestrians instinctively shifted backward, forming a natural barrier between the bikers and the wider street. The air became almost electric, charged with anticipation. The micro-errors of arrogance. The biker's confidence began to waver. Small mistakes appeared. The leader's hand drifted too close to his belt. The middle biker took an extra step forward, overcompensating, and the youngest fidgeted with his gloves. Ronda noticed every one of them. Not just their errors, but the rhythm behind them. The telltale signs of overconfidence turning into hesitation. It was these micro-errors, tiny cracks in their armor, that set the stage for what was coming next. They didn't know it yet, but the moment they made those mistakes, the outcome was already shifting in her favor. Foreshadowing, the tactical move. A subtle shift in Ronda's stance, almost imperceptible, indicated she was ready. Not aggressive yet, but ready. One slight pivot of her foot, a tightening of her core, and she could react instantly to any sudden motion. The bikers were oblivious. They assumed her calm meant weakness. They assumed her silence meant submission. But in that stretch of street, under the sun, amidst the crowd and engines, the truth was becoming clear. They had underestimated her entirely. And that's when the tension reached its breaking point. Right before Ronda's tactical awareness would fully kick in and the confrontation began to tilt in her favor.